I'm Mark.
And I'm Josh.
And this is Alter Ego Comics TV, episode number 132. We're coming to you from Alter Ego Comics, a comic book store in Lima, Ohio. And we read a bunch of comics every week, and it was a great week to read a bunch of comics this week. We're going to come back and give you our recommendations. And we're back with our recommendations. The first one is some familiar stuff this week and some new stuff, but we'll stick with the familiar first. And this would be Red Sonja number 3, written by Gail Simone with artwork by Walter Giovanni. I think this is 3 for 3 for me on Red Sonja, enjoying every issue immensely. This is one of the books I look forward to the most now, and it's just incredibly solid. I don't know what else to say. Really, I've been talking about it for 3 months. Although I think one of the things I really like about it is that I just finished binging on Game of Thrones on HBO, and I think that the way that the Red Sonja book is written now kind of has a little bit of a Game of Thrones feel to it, and that's one of the reasons why I like it. As I've mentioned before, I had no previous love for the character of Red Sonja. I honestly can't tell you if I've ever read anything that Dynamite published with Red Sonja in it. When Marvel had the license, I did read some Red Sonja stuff there when she actually crossed over when she had a Marvel team up with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. But it's so well written. The artwork fits it perfectly. This is, in my opinion, the best book that Dynamite is publishing right now, and it's the perfect marriage of story and art. Even though they're using a licensed character, it's not a creator-owned book, but it feels like Gail Simone has complete control over the direction that this book is going, and I love it.
Next up, we've got Captain America number 11, written by Rick Remender with art by Carlos Pacheco. This is the first book where Cap is back from Dimension X or Dimension Z or wherever he was. Z for Zola, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, Dimension Z. And I've sort of been hit or miss with the book during the Dimension Z, but I decided to jump back in for issue 11, and I'm glad I did. It's really solid. We see Steve pulled back into our universe and interacting with characters that you'll certainly recognize, and it's really great. It's a cool kind of, not really an homage. I'm trying to, the words escape me, sadly. Steve's already a man out of time, but now he's been gone to his mind, it's been 12 years that he was in this other dimension. To the Avengers and whatnot, it's only been hours or days, and he's also lost some things in the other dimension. He's trying to recover from that, and so it's a very cool mixture of seeing this kind of stoic Captain America spirit and seeing how these losses affect him. And it's also got some really cool intercutting with Steve as a kid with his mom, kind of setting up where his personality, where his drive came from. And it's just an all-around great Cap book. It has a wonderful traditional feel, but it's still doing things that are new that I definitely did not expect.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree. We'll switch over to DC and their Villains Month promotion that's going on for the month of September, and we're going to go with Court of Owls 23. Actually, this is Batman and Robin 23.2 or Court of Owls number 1, whichever you choose. I'm going to go with Court of Owls number 1, and the Court of Owls is a relatively recent introduction to the Batman universe, and it's very easy to want to see more about this mysterious group that wears the crazy owl masks and have been apparently pulling the strings behind all of Gotham City's advancements and maneuvers for decades and decades, for centuries probably. So we actually get to see different time periods in this book. We get to see how the Court of Owls has dealt with things during times of crisis, and we're in the middle of a crisis, even though they're not calling it a crisis, because the crime syndicate has basically taken over the planet Earth, and everything is in shambles and chaos, and Batman's not around, so the Court of the Owls is, some members are retreating to a stronghold, and they're trying to let loose the very first Talon, apparently. So the Talons were the hitmen for the Court of the Owls. I haven't read Talon for a while. I read the first couple issues. It just didn't work for me. But this was very interesting to me, and I want to read more at this point. And it's to be continued in the Talon series. But we may end up seeing some more Court of the Owls stuff showing up over in Batman at some point. I would definitely be glad to see that. So James Tynion IV is the writer on this, and the artwork is by someone else. Jorge Lucas. George Lucas, to his friends. He's doing this in his free time. But it's kind of it's kind of Derek Robertson-esque, if you like that type of artwork. I really liked it. Best of the Villains books, as far as I'm concerned, from this week.
All right, next up, we've got one of my top picks, probably my top pick of the week, but definitely my pick from Villains Month is Batman number 23.2, also known as The Riddler, number 1. We last saw Edward Nygma in the pages of Batman Year Zero, and it set up a new relationship between Wayne Enterprises, between Bruce Wayne, and between Edward Nygma that was not exactly in the old continuity. And this picks us up from there, seeing the Riddler, now that he's been freed as part of the crazy Society of Evil. I keep forgetting their name. The crime syndicate.
Sinister Syndicate?
The crime syndicate. Sinister Syndicate Spider-Man. Maybe. Anyway. Now that they've freed everyone from Arkham, the Riddler is back, and this is classic Riddler. He's setting up elaborate traps where he's smarter than everyone else. He's got riddles that clue you to what he's going to do, but you don't necessarily understand the context until he tells you what it is or how they fall out. And it's just really, really solid. And it displays a level of characterization that we don't often get on the Riddler. You know, a lot of times it's about him being smart. It's not about him being a person. But he really has personality here, and I just love the heck out of it. If you're reading Batman, I would consider this a must-read, because I'm sure the ramifications are going to pop up again in Year Zero and in the regular book. Oh, we keep going. I get to go again. Lucky me. Free spin. We got Action Comics number 23.2, or Zod number 1. This sets up the new continuity history of Zod in the New 52, and it's really solid. I'm not a Zod fan. I mean, I like him in the movies as an antagonist, but I don't really care for the characterization he's traditionally gotten in the comics. This kind of turned me around. It gave him a much more interesting, vaguely Green Arrow-esque history, and it tweaked certain other parts of Kryptonian society and history that I didn't expect either. And it just sets up a Zod that is, while every bit is evil and still not really someone you want to like, you sort of understand why he does what he does, and it's just a hugely awesome book. If you liked Zod's portrayal in Man of Steel, I think you'll really enjoy that one. And then I go again. This is the All Josh Show. Thanks for tuning in. We're up for Aquaman 23.1, rounding out my picks from the Villains Month this week, and it is Black Manta number 1. Now, this is written by Jeff Johns, which I will admit is the main reason I picked it up, and it was totally worth it. I did not expect to see what I saw here. We've got Manta being courted by Amanda Waller for the Suicide Squad, and then we see obviously the fallout to the criminal syndicate, but it gives you a very vivid view of Manta's point of view and what he wants out of life, where he's going in the world, and it sets up what I think will be really interesting in upcoming Aquaman issues. So yeah, if you're reading Aquaman, I think you want to check this one out because it's very good.
All right, I'm back from the bathroom now. No. Actually, I've been here the whole time. Not going to the bathroom.
Going to the bathroom.
Next up for me is Harley Quinn number 1, a.k.a. Detective Comics 23.2. And the Villains Month books have been really solid, the ones that we've been reading. I mean, there are 52 different ones to read, so obviously we're not reading all of them. But it's been a nice combination of updated origin for the character, peek into the past, present, and possible future of the characters. And with Harley Quinn, we get some nice backstory on Harley, and I don't think we've had a chance to see that in the New 52 because she's been so involved with the Suicide Squad. So this is a nice portrait, if you will, of Harley Quinn, of how she got to where she is, why she did this, why she does the things she does. You've got appearances by, of course, the Joker and some other villains that were in Arkham, and it's a must buy for Harley Quinn fans. You know, if you want to see where the character is now in the DC New 52 versus where she was before, prior to the relaunch, this is where you're going to get it. I will say I liked her old costume better. But one of the cool things about this one is it shows you how she gets her costume, and it may not seem that important, but they show you how she gets each piece of her new costume. So that includes, you know, the leggings, the shorts she's wearing, the mallet she's using. So that was kind of cool. The whole thing was cool. You should check it out, really.
Yeah, and the whole costume thing was overlaid into an actual character thing. They gave it some symbolism that I enjoyed too. All right, next up, we've got twofers. Villains Month is going on at DC, but over at Marvel, we've got some Infinity action out in outer space, and two of the Infinity tie-ins this week you need to know about are Mighty Avengers number 1, written by Butch Ewing, Patrick Ewing, Al Ewing, with pencils by everyone's favorite Greg Land. He's no one's favorite. Anyway, Mighty Avengers #1. This is an Infinity tie-in that's basically picking up with Luke Cage. When everything went crazy at Marvel Now and all the Avengers got rebooted, Luke sort of gave up on being an Avenger to take care of his family, to look after his wife and daughter. And now we learn what he's been doing, how he's making money, and not surprisingly, it's as a hero for hire. So Luke is has already put together his own new Heroes for Hire operation, and we see that them interacting with the Superior Spider-Man, who is of course Doc Ock, and we've also got some appearances by Monica Rambeau, who's using a code name. I don't know. Is it Photon? Phazon?
I don't know. She was Captain
something
Marvel,
light related.
She was Photon. I don't know what she is now, but
she's got a new costume. She's probably got a new name. She's got the same powers. Don't worry about it. But as the Infinity rolls into Manhattan, they have to work together to be the Avengers, as all of the regular Avengers are off-planet fighting in space with the fleets, as we see in the regular book. And it was solid. I am unabashedly a Luke Cage fan, and I will watch a man in tiara or with the open shirt with bracelets, whatever it takes. I love me some Luke Cage. So that was a big appeal, but it's actually interesting to see the way he interacts with the other characters, especially Superior Spider-Man, because Luke and Peter had not a close relationship, but definitely had a banter going back and forth, and it's interesting to see the way that changes with Octavius, who's not Peter in the strictest sense. The other one that needs to be on your radar this week is Infinity The Hunt #1, or possibly The Hunt #1 with just an Infinity banner. I'm not really clear. But this is written by Matt Kent with art by Steve Sanders, and this is actually a really cool one. You've got the Hank Pym and the other headmasters putting together basically a competition between the various superhero schools in the Marvel Universe. So you've got the Jean Grey School for Gifted Youngsters or for Higher Learning, whatever, headmastered by Wolverine, full of mutants. You've got Avengers Academy led by Hank Pym. You've got the Future Foundation, which is currently being run by She-Hulk while Reed Richards is off in space. You've got the Wakanda Academy under the Black Panther. Shuri is the current name. You've also got some other ones that I've never heard of before. For example, the Latverian Academy, presumably headed by Dr. Doom, the Atlantis School, and a Japanese school or Asian school, I guess they call it Pan-Asian, headed by Jimmy Woo, who you may remember from, no one remembers the books he was in, but I still like Jimmy Woo. And it's really cool. They call it, of course, the Contest of Champions. And as the schools are getting together for a nice punch each other, have a good time, learn a lesson in school, Infinity happens, and badness and terror reeks down on the world, and so the heroes or the parts of the hero team must come together and fight off a menace. And it's awesome. Oh, I forgot Braddock Academy in England, led by Captain Britain and Megan. It's just a lot of fun. I like teen heroes. I like books like this that give you the chance to see a bunch of different heroes. Half the people in this book have never popped up before or haven't popped up anywhere important. So it's cool to just see the edges of the Marvel Universe filled in a homey way, and I just liked it.
In a homey way.
I'm saying they have lives. They're not always punching people.
It's not like, hey, homie.
No, more like Little House on the Prairie. It's homey.
Okay. Homely?
No. I'm telling Melissa Gilbert you said that. Call her homely.
She's not homely. What was her nickname? Half Pint.
Half Pint, yeah.
Isn't this a great show? All right, let's go back to Battle of the Atom. This is X-Men #5, Part 3 of the Battle of the Atom event going on over at Marvel. This is written by Brian Wood with artwork by David Lopez, and picks up where things left off of Battle of the Atom last week, which I talked about and which I enjoyed. This feels like it's going to be a great X-Men event. If you recall, if you will walk through memory lane with me back to the mid to late 1980s and then through the 90s, there seemed to be an X event every year, and there were things like Fall of the Mutants and the Extinction Agenda and other things that I'm drawing a blank on.
Phalanx Covenant.
Yeah.
Mutant Massacre.
What was one of the Mutant Massacre? Yeah. So this is Battle of the Atom. And as I mentioned before, we have the X-Men of the past, present, and future, and it's fast-paced, it's character-driven. The characters are written well, both by Brian Wood and Brian Michael Bendis, who wrote the first two parts. And basically, young Jean Grey and young Cyclops are on the run from the current X-Men and the future X-Men, because the future X-Men have come back and said, you original X-Men need to go back to your own time. You're going to screw things up, and probably not like Back to the Future screw things up, but seriously mess up things. And Jean doesn't want to go back because she knows what she's going to become and that she's going to die multiple times. And Scott kind of sort of doesn't want to go back because he grows up to be a D-bag and all that kind of stuff. So it's great. It's got a great cover by Art Adams, which is very nostalgic for X-Men fans since he was involved with New Mutants and did some X-Men work in the 80s and 90s. Again, I'll say it again. X-Men fans need to read Battle of the Atom. There.
Next up, we've got some new stuff this week in trade. The first one I need to make you aware of is 5 Weapons, Volume 1, Making the Grade. This is Jimmy Robinson's series that was kind of completely unexpected for us. We got the first issue in kind of not really knowing what it was going to be and just loved the heck out of it. You've got a school for assassins in a world that's slightly different from ours, but you have, instead of having, it's basically Harry Potter, but instead of Hufflepuffle, you've got guys with guns that want to shoot you, led by Nat the Gat. And it's just great. It's that cool school story with death, and you've got a lead character that is incredibly charismatic and wins not because he's the toughest, but because he's the smartest. It's just a really compelling read, and so far it is my pick for the best new series this year.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
That happened.
Yeah. Okay. Also out this week in trade paperback is the first volume of East of West. This is written by Jonathan Hickman with artwork by Nick Dragotta and is the post-apocalyptic tale of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse who are back and seeking revenge and killing people and causing a whole lot of problems. Hickman, of course, is writing Infinity over at Marvel. He's also writing the 2 Avengers books. He's writing Manhattan Projects over at Image. I don't know how he's doing God is Dead. That came out last week. He is doing so much stuff, and it is all really good. This is issue 1 through 5, and the great thing about these first Image volumes they've been doing recently, at least for a lot of them, is it's $9.99. So you can pick up the first 5 issues of East of West in a nice trade paperback package for under $10, and we highly recommend it. So there. We apologize for being off kilter. We don't have air conditioning in the store. The air conditioner died over Labor Day weekend, and it was 94 yesterday and 92 today, and it's bloody hot over there. So we're right next door where we have some air conditioning, but it's sapped my strength. I just want to go to sleep and take a nap. That's why we're fumbling and bumbling this week. Could be other reasons, I don't know, but it's probably because it's freaking hot outside and inside. So, I will not list all of the reminders of the things we have coming up, but go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/alteregomaniacs, and you'll see what we've got going on for the rest of September and into October. And hopefully you like the reviews. If you do, say so, share it with your friends, and make some comments down below, and we'll get back to you. So, we'll see you next week. Hopefully we'll be better than we were this week. I apologize. Good night.